Hello, everyone. My name is Hanan, and my colleagues Mike and VJ are here to talk about the MBTA fare collection system. The MBTA is the primary source of transportation for thousands of residents of the greater Boston area, but from personal experience, it's not always the easiest or most convenient in terms of paying for a ride. Passengers need to go to fare vending machines that aren't available everywhere you can get on a bus or train. We're suggesting that the MBTA implement open loop contactless card network payments on all MBTA transportation vehicles so that you can pay for a ride by just tapping your credit card or phone on a card reader whenever you get on a bus, train, or even ferry. The objective of this project is to make public transportation more accessible to end users, as well as expand the currently accepted payment transactions to include those that most people use on a daily basis. This includes any contactless cards, as well as mobile payment options such as Google Pay, Apple Pay, and Samsung Pay. However, it's still important to be inclusive of the payment options that already exist, such as cash payments on buses and the use of Charlie cards and tickets. One goal of the project also includes allowing students to use money loaded on their student IDs, which will also increase ridership among college students all over Boston. The project would take approximately 4 years with the following 4 phases, each taking about a year. The first year would focus on building partnerships with credit card agencies and universities that would need to be involved, as well as a fraud protection service. The second phase will focus on ensuring system readiness and development of a website and app for payment management. The third stage involves the installation of contactless card reader software on all major busways and subways. And the final year will include implementation of this fare collection system on all MBTA modes of transportation, as well as evaluation and effectiveness of the impact of the project overall. When it comes to the project organization, the MBTA is a functional organization that places a lot of importance on big projects like this, so it would be a high priority. Expertise would need to be selected from each of the functional departments shown here, totaling to around 33 individuals, not including members of the Community Engagement Committee in blue, Legal Counsel in orange, and the MBTA Board of Directors at the top of the organization. We'd want maximum utility of expert consultation from the departments in green, HR, finance, operations, IT, maintenance, and security, and the project manager would be responsible for borrowing the resources from those functional departments.
Our implementation plan illustrates the critical steps involved in project planning and execution. So mainly this consists of 4 items: the work breakdown structure, responsibility chart, Gantt chart, and PERT analysis. So to describe each, the WBS divides the project into phases and tasks, and it namely supports the project manager in what's called hierarchical planning to ensure that project deliverables remain in focus. The responsibility chart, on the other hand, displays how tasks in the WBS are allocated and identifies who's responsible for execution, approval, and consulted for advice. Lastly, scheduling was done through the Gantt chart and PERT analysis. The schedule essentially is a conversion of the WBS into an operating timetable and serves to monitor and control activity. Deciding how to plan, identify, assess, monitor, and control risks is essential to enhance a project's success. So a qualitative and quantitative risk analysis was performed to rank order 10 risks. First, the qualitative risk analysis or risk assessment matrix is a flexible and quick tool applied in which a subjective estimate of risk probability and impact is needed. Then a quantitative risk analysis was used to further refine the rank order via a failure mode and effect analysis to further refine scaling and dependency. Next, our monitoring control plan consists of 4 plans for the responsible management of our project's triple constraint. So the monitoring plan includes monitoring progress towards milestone completion, labor hours, budget expenditure, process and output changes, and consumer and partner satisfaction. So since it's the top priority to make information accessible to stakeholders, a routine milestone reporting structure was outlined at the end of each project phase. This is accompanied by the earned value chart, which is also used as part of the monitoring plan as an estimate of project variances and phase completion. The control plan, on the other hand, consists of a closed system encouraging desirable results that swiftly identify variances. So in particular, a phase gate process, a type of go, no-go control, was used to ensure that the phases remain on track. And in particular, the project manager will primarily play this role to monitor and control the project, apart from external facing tasks such as the consumer inertia evaluation.
Okay. Next is the contingency plan. To avoid any unexpected resource constraint, a plan is required to acquire essentials on demand. It is safe to assume that all necessities will be available due to the project prioritization by the MBTA. So next is the marketing plan are required to determine the ridership interest in the new fare collections option, as well as to inform the riders like how we are going to update the new like payment options in MBTA through ad campaigns in and around Boston. Next is a financial plan. Here, we have used the top-down budgeting plan based on collecting the judgment and experience of the top and middle function managers, assuming that their experience and judgment is efficient. These costed estimates are then given to the lower-level managers who are expected to continue the budget estimates for specific tasks that comprise the sub-budgets. The total project cost estimated is $1 billion, which is budgeted to pay for the labor and setup costs associated with implementing the new contactless data system software. In addition to the launch management of the mobile app development, interchange charges, fees, and fare expansion measures. So next is the resource allocations. Here, the following table shows how we have estimated the project expenses in addition to the no overhead cost, sufficient upper management experience, and the WBS level breakdown. So the following assumptions have been made while assessing the financial plan. So first is the sub-project budget specified where resources need to be allocated, but not to the specific distribution. And the individual tasks beyond the scope of WBS are deemed insignificant in terms of impacting the financial plan. Total task budget is based off the total budget multiplied by time percentage allocation per Gantt chart.
So in conclusion, it's assumed that closure by integration takes place as this is the most common way of dealing with successful projects. This implies that the outcome of our project have become a standard part of the MBTA's operating system. And so it may also be safely assumed that the MBTA has adequate experience in integrating projects of this kind as they are a leader in the field of transport reliability and modernization over the centuries. So the plans we proposed, we deem sufficient to realize the full qualitative benefits that Hanan described earlier as economically justifying its implementation is out of the scope of this course.